Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever. It's in the Alps. We're sitting in Bern waiting for something to happen. Last time we did an awful lot of work with passenger trains and services and all of that kind of stuff, advancing some of the lines that we've been building lately in order to try and try and ensure that they're profitable as the HST comes gliding into the station here. This really is quite a nice spot for spotting things happening in both directions, really. So yes, Bern is getting used to having trains happening for the first time, and again we see a bus doing a wheelie over that bit of level crossing, which makes me very tempted to go and smooth that out. In fact, we've got another train happening. I'm pointing at the screen. You probably see it, but if you don't, you can imagine. So it's over there, right? We have one going along there, and then we've got the brick train running up the top here. But I want to smooth out this bit of... I don't think it's going to do it without a fight, though. I think we're just going to have to live with that wheeling. I mean, the way you would do it is you delete that, and then relay the road, but I can't see that. I can't see that working without trauma, so we'll just pretend it doesn't exist. Anyway, what have we got waiting here? 143 heading towards Locarno Adventure Flights. There's a plane coming in. That's nice. The hypertrain has not quite settled in as far as passengers are concerned yet, but it's still early days. It hasn't been running for all that long. Let's have a quick look at the state of play here. What have we bought this year? 800. No, that doesn't seem right. How are we 40 million in the hole? New vehicles, 57 million worth of new vehicles overall, and another 24 million on top of that. So if you add that together, what are we looking at? What did I say it was? 57, 77, 80. Let's call it 80, which means that we're 40 million up if you take away new purchases. No, I'm quite pleased with that. I need to stop spending quite so ruggedly. But when have you known that to be something that's likely? Anyway, right, what are we going to get on with today? So, this big backlog of goods, this is what we advertised as being the plan for today, is to try and make this work a little bit better. I mean, it's working fine. I'm doing air quotes here. It's working fine. But it could be going a heck of a lot better. And particularly when you look at, construction materials, I'm just not getting the throughput that I want. I desperately like that to pick up a bit more. And I'm not entirely sure how I'd go about doing that. We've certainly got the trucking facilities to make this work. Although I am sorely tempted to play with this truck stop. And when I say play with it, what I mean is, bulldoze it and come up with something, a new creative method of, you know what, let's start with that. That's going to be, I don't even need to do it. Why would we do something that we don't need to do? Because it makes for great visual entertainment. Stay tuned. That's where we're starting. Okay then, right, I have no intention of spending longer than is absolutely necessary on this. Yeah. So what we're hoping to do is get something that works as effectively as the other side, where queuing happens without too much difficulty. And since I've already bulldozed it, because I like to live on the edge, we'll get cracking. Right, terminals. Let's go. What does 8 look like? It looks like there's 8. That's what 8 looks like. Fling it around that way. Let's make it one way. That'll be good. Tram terminals we don't need. Old top street, old new. New? There we go. So that's throughput. So theoretically, we could come in on one side. If we look at the trucks coming in. So if we were to do this over here... Right, hold on, no, we still need to be in range of everything. And there's a lot to be in range of. Alright, this isn't going to help much then, is it? It might help a little, but not a massive amount. So we're going to have to put it pretty much exactly where it was as far as the entrance is concerned in order to maintain our connections. But that's okay. Do we want to make it any longer? I don't think we need to. Let's just do that. This is supposed to be quick, right? We're gonna get through this nice and fast. There seems to be quite a lot of trees growing in the middle of this this truck stop, which is I mean, it's a health and safety risk for starters. There we go. That's all of that done, and then we will run this road. Scroll through the heap of shameful road selection, and then we'll medium country out the other side. We'll just go regular medium country. What a waste of a fine mod, and then connect up onto there, right? Okay, right. Well, that's what you have allotted yourself to do there. Now the other thing. See, I'm starting to look to see if there's something more creative I could be doing, but that's just going to slow down the progress for the day. So this isn't helpful at all, but what it does mean is we should end up not having a log jam of trucking happen out this end. Instead, we'll get a log jam of trucking here, I suspect. Right, let's see what that's done to the natives, because it'll have confused them a little. There will be a certain amount of perplexed trucking happening now. But there you go. Look at that. It's queuing way better. And then as they come back out again, the only issue we're going to get is when they have to cross over onto the other side of the road. But, you know, so be it. That's just the cost of doing business. Okay, good. Right. Well, that will do something, hopefully, when we have some more deliveries take place. Now then, to move on to the meat and potatoes of today's episode, we shall upgrade our hub situation. Now then, here's my problem as we look at it, and it's not the problem I anticipated actually. But there we go. We got 1,000 oil that needs refining. Now I've got the biggest of big boys actually, you know, handling that business for me right now. There we go. What's your capacity? 396. Now we could make it longer, but I don't think that's actually going to help the situation. I think we ought to double this up. So what I'm going to need is the ability for there to be either a passing track of some description, I suspect. So it's going to come out under here. And then I think we'll retire the big boy. No, yeah, stop your petitioning. We won't kill all the big boys. We'll make sure we've still got one. And let's not forget here that this is the main driver of my profits overall. So you know, I have to think carefully before doing this. Although, you know, I'm going to think as carefully as I do any time. We're going to put 2 trains running the same route, but each train will carry 300. So we should double our capacity without something else, without making too much of a mess, hopefully. Right, what have we got here? Now we could, if we double up this track, that's ballast. That's not going to help you. So if we double up this track here, and we'll run it all the way underneath. Now I'm going to need to stick some points on, but this I think is going to be the route to success. Oh, hold on, that's not going to work. It's a collision. Oh no! Oh, and that's such a nice bit of bridge as well. I mean, it's a bit of bridge I don't really need, but it's a nice bit of bridge nonetheless. And then you'll have to merge back in. We could get into the tunnel, and then put the merge in the tunnel itself, which is going to be exciting. All right, we've got to merge before we come back out again. There you go. Right. Now then, we're going to need a signal in there somewhere. No, let's get the easy signal. This side. I want you over on this side. That's it. That's good. Right now, close to the merge point, but not too close. We're just going to have to get lucky with that one, I think. Okay, right, good. That should do the trick. So I need some points going out, because the whole idea behind that particular maneuver was that we get we run the big boy we run the oil train. Come on, brain, keep up. This is high intensity stuff we're doing here today. Has it already gone past? I'm sure I would have seen it. Have you even done the right bit of track? Yes, you have. Okay. Where's it gone? Are you up there already? My goodness, you don't hang around, do you? I mean, you say like you need more throughput on this, but in all honesty, you're getting it done quite quickly. All right, there we go. Right, now we can see what I'm playing at. So, as we head out this way, we stick another set of points on there. And that way we can use that second bit of track as a cue while the action happens. So if we do that, should be plenty fast enough. We'll stick a signal on there, and that's what you end up with. Okay, grand. Right, so where am I going to take? Well, we could just transfer the big boy, or translate the big boy into whatever we're going to do with it, and we're going to use my favourite American stuff because it's my show, and I'll do what I like with it. But then we need to add another one onto that track. So coming out from here, we've got slip junctions available, so that's going to pan out nicely. Although saying that, look at all of this lot. It's just terrific. But the hope will be that we have significantly more than that going on as well, because I plan on doing something similar, if not identical, with the food train that we've got going on. Because as you can see at source up there, we've got 700 food waiting. So there's plenty more that we can be hauling around here. And as much as I'm doing the underarm goods right now, the easy stuff, we're going to expand and do the more difficult stuff as well in a similar kind of fashion. Where are you going? You're going to Interlaken. Where's my oil train? Here it is. Okay, so what are we going to run on there? I suspect it's going to be an SD40. Right, let's kill all of these off so that I can get a proper count on it. But the goal is to be running around 300, maybe more per train. I might even use different oil wagons. I don't know yet. We'll just have to wait and see as soon as the train options menu, deems it necessary to load up. There you go. Right, let's expand the choices. So diesels. Now, the reason that the big boy is so worth using for this stuff, firstly, it's the raw power of the fella, but secondly, 130 kilometers an hour, right? It's not slow. Whereas if we switch to an SD40, it's only 105, so we're not going to be making as much per run as we would otherwise be doing. But we've got a no-hab here, and I'm just not feeling it. And it's certainly not as powerful as an SD40 is. And if these turn out to be profitable for glamour alone, we can upgrade them to be double headers. I know that's the kind of thing that I say that makes people terribly excited. Right, oil wagons, please. Now then, we've got these Korean oil tankers where the costs are not properly calculated, but I think we've already demonstrated that I can make the cash by this point. What's the weight of these? 24.8. These are 23. So actually, I'm better off using these anyway because they're much lighter. That's 15,000 versus 20,000. So these are lighter still. Maybe that's the way to go. They're a little bit small. I wonder if they're European. Let's compare. Well, yeah, okay. Maybe it's only the thumbnail. What's your running cost look like? 167 a year, 200 a year. I think these are the way to go. Right. Okay. So, what did I say we wanted? 300. So that's 20 of these, isn't it? 10, yes. 20. Right. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay. Right. Let's switch that on. Let's switch that on. Replace it now. It's going to cost me 14.6 million. Obviously, that big boy had been running in its current format for quite some time. Right, and then we're going to want to stick another one on as well. And then hopefully the queuing situation will space those out pretty quickly. Well, they won't be able to bunch up, let's put it that way. But it will allow me to get that running quite swiftly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Counting with kernel failure. Set line. Don't know. Hold on. It's not an oil delivery. It's going to be... No, not iron ore processing. Neither. Oil. Yes, probably. Hub Bravo oil refining. There we go. Okay, cool. So, don't know if having 20 cars on there is going to slow it down significantly. I'd have thought, given the power of the beast, that it would be able to cope with that. But you never know. Either way, this is such a profitable route that I can't see it struggling to perform financially, even if it runs a little on the slow side. But having two of them in play should at least make for a reasonable amount of income, even if we end up, upping our costs by quite a bit. We should still make a healthy income from that. And initially, that's just going to clear the backlog. Now, it might create a brand new backlog in terms of fuel waiting to be retrieved, but we'll see how that goes. Right, let's see what sort of blistering speed you manage to get up to once you're on the right line. But this is all about getting as many trains running on here as we can, because, queues are sexy. Yeah, I know, you heard it here first. What's going on there? Look at that. That's what. Get your train fix right here with Uncle Failure's model train set. Right, here comes the full load in the back in the opposite direction, and then with a bit of luck, this will pan out nicely. You're just going to have to hang on there for a sec, chum. We might already need double headers on here. I don't know. I'm quite prepared to do so, but I want to run it for a little bit to see if we get if we manage to make the kind of money that we need. Anyway, we're going to speed trial this one just to see if it manages to top out, and it's already up to 75. So hitting the 105 top speed that it's capable of, it might not get there, but it will certainly get reasonably close. The bigger challenge is, can it get up this this forthcoming hill without coming unstuck? This is a good view, because I have, when just mucking around on my own, I've run the big boy with a capacity of like 550, 600 up here, and even it struggled to make good speed. So there we go, we're up to 95. Are we going to get much drop off? No, not even slightly. The SD40 there just kind of going, oh, come on. Make it challenging, why don't you? Although it has to be said, it is empty. And given that the game currently models the impacts of carrying additional weight, that in itself could be a factor. Anyway, right, that should now be working. Where's the other one got to? Is it in the queue yet? Or is it? No, it's not even left yet. That's good. Means that the queue might be in the right place. And that would be a very good thing. Okay, right, good. So let's leave that going and turn our attention to our next customer, which is going to be food. Now that's the Interlaken delivery. Over here, you're the little shuttle. Well, I mean, this should be relatively straightforward. Where are we? Hub food production. There we are, the green line here. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay, so currently we run all the way up there, and actually this is one that's going to benefit most strongly from doubling up on services, because the length of the route is pretty severe. The issue we've got, however, and I've got some spare track. I love having a bit of spare track. Right, here it comes now. And it's not setting any records. That's carrying 500. So if you remember, the oil big boy was only carrying 390. This is carrying 500, and you can see that it's struggling to get up to speed. But we'll when we set this up again, we'll go 300 and 300 as we have done previously, because that too will both up the throughput and hopefully up the speed a bit as well. And actually, can't help it but up the speed if we're running twice as many. So let's have a quick look at how much cash it's making. So this is doing double-digit millions per year as well, which is just brilliant. Now then, how are we going to run this one? We need the green line up. So let's get that up there and then switch that off. Okay, so you're coming out here. Now, what's this end one? Currently, nothing. Oh, well, this is going to be easy. All right, no sweat. Do we actually have platforms available there as well? Let's call up the full route maker. Thank you, full route maker. We've got we've got 2 empty platforms. I could be doing more stuff. I could set up something entirely new. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, I'm well up for that. All right. Well, that's just going to have to hang on for a minute. We'll do that in a minute. But first off, see, there was me thinking that I'd done most of this, but it turns out I've got empty platforms that are just, they're just sitting around having a nice time. All right. Let's run that out to there. I did notice it bleed off some speed there for no good reason. Hold on. No. Careful. There are any number of different tracks it can try and snap to if you do this. That looks like the right one. It doesn't look like it's trying to do anything ridiculous underground. Although it's really hard to tell. Right, let's signal this up. If we stick one, there we go. Right, good. Figure that out straight away. You diamond. Now it's using a slip junction there, which is going to be quite a slow transition, but it should do the trick. And then we'll stick a signal there, and that should about do it. Now that's assuming, of course, that that's where they're going to want to pass, because you've also got this nice long run out here. That might be the secret to success. And you don't know what the implied signals at the station, assuming they're still in place. I've not done any tests. So the rumour was that that when the latest convenience patch, as it was dubbed, came out, that it did some funny old things with the formerly implied signals that you'd have at stations. Right, I'm taking no chances. So we'll double track up here as well. So we've got queues on both sides of the station. 115 is beyond. I'm going to SD40 this one as well, because the only thing that looks better than one of them running is lots of them running. There we go. Right, now then, let's signal up here. And then at the other end as well. Good. Right, okay, now then. Let's see if that's automatically picked up the route. It has. Gotta love things that automatically pick up the route. Right, replacement train. Kill all this lot off. Now, we were running, what, 504. And that one as well. And this is hub food hub food production, and so forth. Right, freight. Maybe we go for 700. 700 would be better, wouldn't it? Well, we don't want to overdo it. in terms of too much delivery, because that will create. I mean, all of this is going to create funnels further down the line that will need to be resolved. We'll start with one of those. What do these take? 18. So 8 days of 64, plus that and the thing and the rest of it, and don't know. Good. Excellent maths. Right, 18, and then let's do a grand tour, shall we? That's 36. That's more than that. It's 54. That's 72. So another 4 is 144. 1, 2, 3, 4. 144. Right, so that's 8. So another 8 will do the trick. 1 is 2 and 3, and we'll get another one that will be branded correctly. 4, 5, 6, yes, 7, 8. Right, so that's 288 we've got on there. I don't know where all these train warnings are coming from. I possibly ought to have a look at that in a moment. I'm obviously running some old stuff. So 288 would make that 576. That's not a big increase, but we're doing it much faster. Let's go another 2. One of those and one of these. Okay, so after all that, we've gone with 18 boxcars. Okay, right, good. Replace it now. How much you want? 7 million. Worth it. What did I say? 18. Okay. Right. Let's plug in another one then. Let's go for my depot of choice. Diesel. Okay. Freight. Right. 1. Hold on. Do you need to? You do need to. Can we double click? You can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Right? 324. That's, yeah, okay, that's where we've gone for, and that's what we've got. Right, now then, it was hub something, hub food production. There we go. Right, off you trot. Let's admire this one as it depots itself. Or I should say de-depots itself. Okay, well, where exactly this is going to transpire in terms of generating a load of traffic is going to be around this area here, one would assume, and that should be quite splendid. Where's the? Honestly, while I've been counting up to 18 boxcars, the other one's passed through. Is that what you're telling me? It has. There we go. So we're in there. Now, why it's stopping so far up the station is perhaps because I just replaced it. Don't know. But it would be nice for you to go all the way to the end, and then all of these boxes can get in on the game. Right. Meanwhile, what have we got here? Right. You're waiting for the other one to come back. It's just lurking in the tunnel somewhere. Now, if time's on our side here, we could end up with a rather terrific view. I mean, given the length of the train that's coming. It's certainly possible. You never know. We might even get the Interlaken goods train in the shot at the same time. The question is, how lucky are we in a glamorous, many goods, many trains kind of a situation? The perfect shot is now gone. What about a semi-perfect shot? Do you think that's possible? I'm not feeling it. Oh well, you can't have it all. Really? No? So close. Here it comes now. Oh. Well, you were there, you saw it happen. But, you know, oh no, let's see, look how close we were. or rather, how much I was just sat in the wrong place for that to pay off gangbusters. But it's but this is what we're talking about. This is the stuff now. Lots and lots of goods being transitioned. Okay, right. Next trick is going to be, I think, is going to be this lumber train. However, I need to look at how throughput is working first. So, what have we done here? We've got about half an hour worth of show left to go. Is that enough time to set up a brand new route? No, it's not. Don't even start to think that way, you lunatic. And I'll show you the route that I'm thinking of, and this comes down to having that extra bit of platform available. Just as soon as we've got everything jiggled and poked around here, I want to see how much we've got in stock waiting to be moved around, because this will dictate whether I replicate this kind of doubling up approach elsewhere, or whether we just let that build up, because it's all about where stuff ends up being delivered to. As we've got a big boy and an SD40 having a drag race, we should go and look at that, shouldn't we? All right, here we go. The big boy is definitely pulling ahead. Those extra tens of hundreds of horses there are making all the difference. It's going too slow for Colonel Cam to get us the results that we want. But there's no shortage of good shots here. I mean, look, you've got it in the background. You've got that British Rail loco there doing its thing. However, it's the separation point that could be quite sexy. You know, as much as trains can be sexy, and trains can be sexy, you know it as well as I do. There we go. Yeah, okay, well, the big boy there just asserting its dominance while going, yeah, I'll show you. Phase me out, why don't you? And there's another one coming opposite. This is already delivered in ways I had not thought possible. To be fair, however, the big boy is hauling quite a small train by comparison. Now, where would the optimum passing place have been? It could even be over here, you know. Right, okay, let's double that up. Before I move on, let's... I just want to make sure I've got doubling up to be as seamless as possible, because if I get it right, then no train should ever have to stop. I think that other one could have got through the tunnel there. At which point, something like this... Come on, just connect up, would you? 74 is no good because that's losing speed. What about connecting up on the bridge? How do you feel about that? That's trying to cross the bridge. There you go. Anything 105 or over is sufficient. Yeah. Stick it there. And then stick another one here. So we got more passing places than we actually need there. But hey, I tell you what, that could mean in the future. If we need even more throughput there, is typically, of course, I'm now going to hold this one while we wait for the other one to emerge from the tunnel, which it shouldn't do in the future. So so in the future that should come straight out, because we didn't have to wait too long. But if we can avoid any train having to stop, then they should be able to, well, they will be able to maintain better speed throughout. Seriously, I'll go smoky with this stuff all day long. It's great fun. Good views abound. Right, let's have a look at this this magnificent new line that I've got in my head, but doesn't really exist yet. Now, we know we've got spare platforms available over on the other hub. That's Alpha. However, we've also got the spare line that we saw coming out. Now, I can two-way that to make it sensible. My preference is not in having designated tracks for things. It's just that these lot are all going to differing places. And if we want to get all trains available to enter the station at the same time, which is where your best shots come from, that's the way to do it. So, what would I do? Now, we've already discussed the possibility of setting up goods production down here by the airport. Now, that will work, but it is too far away to do a train connection all the way back here. I mean, in fact, it's way too far. So there must be something else that I could possibly do with that. Is there anything I could possibly do with that? We've got, what's this? Fruitigan. Fruitigan is currently not getting any deliveries of any kind. And here's the oil line. All right, speak to me. I have an interest. You've set me up here for a notion. We haven't got time to do it today. Not unless you're really quick. I can be quick. Right, let's have a look at the... so we've got industrial over there, a bit of commercial here. What we're looking for, the ideal is to have commercial and industrial next to each other if you're going to try and do a lazy goods station. I'm trying to do a lazy goods station. Because that way you can... I don't want to delete that bit if I can avoid it. Right, let's get me some medium streets here. I haven't even looked at this previously. I've no idea what I'm setting myself up for here, but I'm going to need a fast goods train for this, and that means that the big boy may well be the contender to get the job done. Let's have a look. Now then, station, goods of the small freight station. That's cute. Freight station, railway station for car. Look at that. Do not crash my gate. My goodness. It's got like the animations and all sorts. Ooh. Well, given that we're planning to wrap the series up fairly soon, I'm not going to get many opportunities to use this. Let's have a look and see what sort of coverage you get there. Lousy. Very lousy. Yeah, you don't get great coverage out of that. Now that would be something to use at the hub now, wouldn't it? Number of tracks. I wonder if we set that to 5. Maybe this is what I should do. Maybe I should replace Hub Alpha with this instead, and then not worry about the fact that it's got extra lines waiting for it. This is too glamorous not to use. What else we got? Transit tracks. What do they do? They're just extra tracks, but they're worth every penny. This is a thing of beauty. You've got platform length. You've got second street connection. Ooh, it's enormous. That's entirely glam. All right, I might not actually get around to using that this series, but you can place money safely on the fact that it will be used in the future. Right, now then, let's just concentrate on the matter at hand here. I think we're going to go terminal. We only need one platform. Do we need any curve on this? No, we don't. Right, let's get rid of that because we're going in there. Right, we will bulldoze one of these fine upstanding individuals, or maybe even more than one. Too much slope. That's a shame. What if we go this way a bit? Go on. 3 buildings will be removed. I'll take it. There we go. You haven't left yourself anywhere to put a truck stop in there. So what have we got? We've got commercial coverage. We've got lots of industrial coverage. That's good. But we could always put the truck stop up at this end actually. So that's fine as well. Stick that on there. Run this around like this somehow. And then, because that's where we're going to need to deliver all of our commercial goodies. So if we were to, I don't know, do that, but pop a bridge over it. Now we have to remove a building. I mean, the bridge is lunatic, given how far it actually needs to go. But we could get some. Yeah, we could get another road under there. Give me something modern. Modern. There you are. Modern me. Yes, we will remove a building because we cannot. Right, get that under there for some reason and continue it down that way and fling that on there. Right, so now if we get something within catchment, which is going to have to be out here. Let's put a truck stop on there. No, you were there already. What about a 2-bay drive-through? Would a 2-bay drive-through fit on there, do you think? I think it might. Let's have a look. If we are very lucky. Too much slope. Ah, shame. That's unfortunate. What other options have we got here? We could go out over there, maybe. All right, let's get rid of a bunch of this because I'm rather taken with this truck stop. So if we put it there, that's it. Maybe, I think. No, well, no, you had it right, and then you made it ugly. Try it again. What have we got? New city. Sure, why not? Obviously, we have fencing. No, we'll do open fencing on this one. You can't change the length of it, but we can. There we go. That's straightish. It's straightoid. And then run this as we did before round the corner. And as we did before, round there. Check that we've got catchment going. It looks like we have. Fruitigan West. That does look like it's lit, doesn't it? It's lit. Excellent. All right. Okay. Right. Well, that's that end done. Now all we've got to do is get it down the other end. Right. Let's upgrade this to be high speed, simply so that the track color is the one that we like. And then let's track up. Now, I'm electrifying everything for no good reason at all. Even once we've got the whatever it is I'm thinking of here, even once we've got kind of modern electrics kind of in service for some of our heavy hauling duties, I'll probably still want to run diesels aplenty. Oh, that's a shame. What would have been nice here was if this was a through depot rather a through station, because then we could have come in and round. As it is, we're going to have to do a crossover on the passenger line, which is something we do not like doing. And to be honest, that passenger line is in great need of an upgrade. There we go. So we'll go around like that. Right, that maintains. Well, although we dropped to 120 there, and that's going to leave. That's going to be lumpy, or is it? We don't know. It looks like it might be lumpy. Well, if it is, we can bulldoze back, do a bit of pre-smoothing, and then get it worked out. Now we'll come down here, and because we can. And it's the stylish thing to do. We're gonna fling underneath this bit of rail. We'll keep going around. Keep the speed up. 160 is the top speed of a no, or is it no? 140 is the top speed of a big boy, and it's going to be fully loaded by this point. Really? You're still thinking of using the big boy up here? And then we can get onto the oil line. Now, what's that going to do to our queuing scenarios? I think it's going to make a mess. Well, it's either that or you find another route. Now, this is passenger, so we don't want to go on the passenger line unless we have to. Plus, we want to come out over there. Now, where did I send? So this is double tracked. So we want to end up on this. Sorry, I'm rather wrapping my head around the notion that we've got here at the moment. This is also quite a long line, and I wonder if the amount of time that we're going to have, the amount of time this route is going to take, is going to mean that it's it's ineffective from the get-go. Meanwhile, the oil train is now waiting, which it really shouldn't be. Or am I not looking at the oil train here? Actually, this isn't too bad a wait going on there. I've seen worse. Right, get back, focus, man. The simplest solution, as I see it, will be to bulldoze these two bridges, run this onto here, and then have this whole section as a queue, except we're then going to need to cross all these tracks to get over to that side, which is just not going to be practical. Alright, so what are you going to do then? Well, you were coming in from height, so we could come in on a bridge. And then what? Because you've got to think merger at some point. And now you've got your food line that runs there. You want to get over here. Right, there isn't an awful lot of space for you to do that in. I mean, arguably there isn't any space for you to do that in. And where there should be a food train up this end, you know. I wonder where that's got to. We're going to have a look in a minute. All right. This was not on your agenda for today, and so you've given it no thought at all. And unsurprisingly, you've now come just a little unstuck. You could double cross over that, which would get in the way, or triple cross over. Yeah. Now, that is going to mean you get in people's way. But some idiot said queuing was sexy not so long ago, and I think that was you. So you're going to want to come around like that. What do you lose? You go down to 101, because then we can double track this. We can double track two big boys on this route. This is going to be the Interlaken train. Let's zoom it out so that it no, that's done nothing for the frame rate. And go. Right, and then if you stick that as a slip switch, this is a terrible plan. And then run that over here. Now, I've no idea if this is going to work or not. If it works, this should play out quite nicely. All right, keep it. Avoid snapping to anything at all. Now, where are you emerging there? Now, can I peel off my tunnel? You're going to need to be in parallel there for a little. But you might, yeah, there it is. All right, now stay down. Just stay down. Right, and then continue this way. Right, now where do you emerge? You emerge there, which is a good place to emerge. Now, actually, that's a great place to emerge. So we end up somewhere like that. Now it's allowed it. Then let's take it. Let's not argue this any more than we need to. What if we do a different tunnel blueprint on that? Or should we just not mess with things that we don't fully appreciate? Let's not mess with things we don't fully appreciate. Let's just accept that because it seems to be hitting the criteria nicely. Right, what do we got here? So that's a nice concrete tunnel entrance. Good, right, okay, so after a great deal of muttering to oneself, we are now going to just come in on that line there. Like this. Which leaves us with an absolute metric ton. In fact, multiple metric tons of train activity. Right, we're coming on the end one here. Is anyone using that at the moment? Yes. What? Why have you opted to use this? This will be flipping Interlaken, won't it? Yeah, there we are. No, I don't want you going that way. Stop trying to be clever, Interlaken train. Right, okay, well, since we're in the area, call that up. Get that up. and do this. Because that's not what we want. Now then, if I stick signals on there, and then another one on about here. Yeah, you see, you've made that two-way now, which is not what you want to do at all. Right, why is it? Because there's a perfectly good parallel tunnel running there, you know. In fact, that's a perfectly good tunnel. Especially since you're then going to be crossing over just about everything. You're already holding up a food train. Right, we're going to need some waypoints. Right, let's... well, that's easy enough. Hold on. Hub Bravo, yeah. Add this signal. There we go. That's two-wayed that again. Right, good. Now then. Now that we've not got anyone trying to be too clever, thank you very much, big boy hub Interlaken friend. That's it. Then we can use this one as well. Okay, right, fine. Let's... I'd probably be best off if I... yeah, you've caused trauma all over the place. Look, we've got another queuing train here, although that's the food train. Don't know why it's queuing. I'm going to assume that everything's working perfectly. That's the assume that we're going for here. We will just run along the end and go into platform, whatever that is, 7. Right, let's set up a route and see what we get out of that. So, start at Hub Bravo. Platform. Oh, hold on, is it 2? Must be 2. Okay, and then from there you head up all the way out to easy peasy Fruitigan. Right, what does that do for you route wise? Let's turn you pink so it shows up nice and vividly. Right, well, on the easy bit it's easy. Let's signal up on here so that the passenger train gets right of way. Comes around the corner, goes through that lot, everything gets right away, and then you're running in parallel with Interlaken, but you get your own special tunnel to do so. Yeah, this goods train, this food train is completely stopped here. Something is skew with. There comes the other one. Oh, he's waiting to switch back onto the other line. Okay, fair enough. And then you come back all the way out to here. Well, that looks pretty good. Okay, right. So this is going to be Fruitigan, bulk goods delivery. All right. Now we just need to work out how to put a train on it. All right. Well, that's not the. Oh, actually, it is easy. Okay, right, now we'll give it the full range of good stuff on there. Now this is going to take a little while before it starts earning. In fact, we ought to look at the Interlaken route to get a feel for is it even remotely popular. And this station is looking decidedly empty right now. Usually there will be goods and food and all sorts on here, but currently it does not appear to be doing that. 55 fuel waiting to get out to Interlaken, but the train didn't leave that long ago, so maybe it's not as bad as I'm making out. Here come the planks, which are going to get distributed that way. There's tools, which for some reason we're not shipping any of here. I might need to up my tool throughput, and I think the quickest way to do that will be to add a third coal train and a second iron ore train. Now that will also have a knock-on effect for construction materials and slag delivery, if there is the generated demand available. So there we go, we've got food now as well. Locarno's got 169 of that. That's a lot that's going to Locarno. Okay. All right. Now, Fruitigan's not going to get anything until I actually run something on that route. We'll see how we get on. But a big boy is an expensive investment, but it's the only thing I've got that's fast enough. Unless we got an electric. Well, that would be a turn up for the book, wouldn't it? 137. It's got plenty of power, plenty attractive. 10.2 a year for this Amtrak Phase 2. But this looks like, and I'm sure it did just about everything. There's a lot of words in there. But I'm seeing passengers. I'm not seeing any mention of kind of freight and what have you. What about this, which is exactly the same thing? Although we've got that's a phase 3 versus a phase 2. Fair enough. Exactly what the difference is, couldn't tell you. 180 for this big Dutch workhorse. All right, you're hired. Don't be too. The reason I'm selecting it is because speed is going to be of the essence here. Right, freight. Now you're going to want. Well, if it's 180 that we need to do, what have we got that gets close? These tank wagons aren't bad. All right, we'll take. Well, what do you think? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then we'll take a couple of state cars at least. What's your top speed? 100. Too slow. 120. We can do better. That one. 160. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then we'll take 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's everything, right? 12 cars in total. 5. There we are. Right. Oh, hold on. You left that in the depot. Right. Set this onto Fruity, please. This is the point at which we'll find where we're lacking a consistent electrified network. Right, let's have a look at the train as it comes out, because that's what we like to do. Now, I realise we are running American wagons predominantly on a Dutch train, but if there were Dutch wagons available to do the same job, I would have used those instead. But the American rolling stock is far superior in terms of capacity and in terms of speed. So that's my justification, and I'm sticking with it. As we wait for the autosave to autosave us from ourselves. Come on, autosave. Save me. Thank you. Right, okay, right, well this is we're rolling here. I tell you, doing one engine depot is totally the way to go. He's already getting up a lick of speed though. This chap is not going to hang around. Let's follow him along a bit. I know, I said I was going to use a big boy, but I think the big boy is even more expensive to run. And having something that accelerates quite as cleanly as this, he's got empty carriages. Okay. But you say carriages, we mean wagons. But we've electrified for a reason, and this feels like the future. Now, the main goal here is if I can fill it, it will be profitable. If I cannot fill it, it will not be profitable, and that instead will be bad. There we go. That's the significant descriptor that we're going to be rocking with there. And given that we've laid track over track here, there may well be a lump as we do our crossover bit. No, it's having to slow dramatically because, I don't know, because there's a train 1,000 miles away. I mean, you know, what are we waiting for here? I didn't want to have to do this. All right, but I'm gonna. That's a good sounding hooter. Alright, let's tidy up a little bit over here. Look at that mess. And, interestingly enough, it's going downhill before going back uphill, but hey ho. Right, now, with that in place, and it's not going to be a quick route, let's get a quick time check on that one, shall we? Frutigan, let's just go trains only. Fruity. 7 minutes. 7 minutes is fine. Okay, good. Right, to wrap up, because all of this is going to take some time before we start to see the fruits of their efforts. All of this is going to take some time to bed in properly. So let's have a look at the route list and see who is or who should be put out of business. Right, the Riverbank Hyper Train, currently carrying 253 of 760, is costing me 6 and a bit million a year. Ouch. The Volan Hub Goods Bulk we already knew about is also costing me over $1 million. And the Coal Mountain Heavy is not hauling much coal, which means I've got a throughput issue there. And that throughput issue is going to manifest itself as either a bunch of steel or a bunch of slag that is, or tools even, that is waiting to happen. And these tools, I think, have been sitting around for a while. Let's have a look. What route are you on there? You're on both routes. So Hub Alpha Shamalama Ding Dong here. Let's replace that. With one of Onion Jack's V12 F12 Volvos, and it will be the generic one. There we are, because it carries a little bit more, and it's also a little bit faster. So let's do that. Replace it now. Yes, 2.5 million for a truck. Crumbs. Oh no, 2.5 million for quite a lot of trucks. All right, okay, that's slightly more acceptable. And then there was that the one I just did. No, it was not. We'll also do the same here as well. And there we go. And freight and the orange one. Yep. Replace now. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Now, if that clears that through, then this should, I mean, it should have a positive difference when it comes to making all of this work. So we've gone from American trucks to European ones in an instant. There we go. All right, that's tools moving. Because it's you have to look, and when you get a bottleneck happen somewhere, it's rarely near the start. It's always near somewhere unexpected. We've also got quite a lot of steel here waiting to go, so maybe I need to up the tempo on my steel train, or add an additional one, or something. And we're already talking about adding another iron ore train, potentially adding another coal train as well, but only when I've got that throughput working correctly. And part of the reason it's not, I hazard, at the moment, is because we're doing quite a lot by ship. So you end up with steel hanging around on a ship for a few months. Now, more ships can help with that. So here come some more tools in. But you've got to look at the entire chain, as we surely will in the next episode. Equally, upping the number of upping the plank throughput here may be beneficial, but we're not quite ready for that yet. Now let's go to where should be the height of activity for all things relating to this hub. And why are you waiting there? There's hub food production, so it's waiting a line switch, which shouldn't be a problem. Where's the other one? Presumably it's coming the other side. Oh look, some big Boeings. Oh, hold on, you're waiting as well. You shouldn't both be waiting. Alright, what's the free path you're waiting for? Which interloper is causing you... There it is, look. Alright, okay. Well, that's why we've got a problem. It's the... is this the mission to... It is. It's flipping Interlaken. He's very fast and loose with regard... Yeah, okay, you've decided to take a different route again. Damn it, we had this working. Right, okay. Thun Signal 7. Thun Signal 7's on the other bit of track. Yeah, it's there, look. Okay. Ah, no, maybe we need to add it on the way back as well. Thun signal 7. There we are. Right. Now, if you weren't crossing over other lines there, Buster, we'd have stuff actually, you know, happening properly. Flipping Interlaken. Getting away with Moida. Right, okay, there we are. That's going to wrap it up for this time. I've been Colonel Failure. Throw your likes in this direction. I shall endeavour to find something worthy of your attention by sitting in my deck chair somewhere good. Anywhere along here is good, to be honest. Anything could happen. But you are going to see stuff going either head on or head away. We'll wait for this one to come through, whatever it is. There we go. He's not going to carry anything for ages. Or I would be very surprised if he did carry anything. Let's see if he picks anything up. Here comes the food train, now ready to go. That's Interlaken again. See, this is how it's supposed to go. You're supposed to run in parallel with one another, so we can stand in the middle and be awesomely impressed with all this stuff. Yeah, okay. Here comes the Frutigan delivery carrying nothing. That's an oil train coming out in there as well. But this is effectively what we set out to create, and it's happened. And this is quite an interesting angle. Right. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, throw a like at it, and I'll be back soon with more tinkering around with my train set. Meanwhile, subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on the next episode, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. I don't like this angle. It's nice, but it's not, you know, it's not all that. Yeah, there we go. Cheerio.